The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
Good morning, Seminole Logie. Jeremy FULTZ, and I'm going to be your host today, filling in for Mr. Robert Bo WHITEKILLER. And we've got a lot of information to kind of get out to the folks today. And I'm going to start off by making a big announcement that everyone needs to go get your bowls because it's chilly outside. It's kind of different when no one laughs, Dennis. I'm used to telling the joke and at least someone's laughing, and when I'm doing this remote, I don't get that laughter. So, well, I mean, I still laugh, and so I learned long ago you tell a joke to make your own self laugh, and I do that a lot. So, all right, well, today is January 26th, and it is 11 a.m., and it's time for the Seminole Nation radio program again. And KWSH every Tuesday mornings at 11, 97.7 FM on your radio dial, and 1260 AM on your AM dial. So make sure you tune in every week. And then playback is usually Wednesday nights on Facebook and on the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Facebook page. So let's go ahead and get into it, as we usually start off with the obituaries. Lystra Robinson of Holdenville, Oklahoma, passed away Saturday, January 16th, 2021 at OSU Medical Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the age of 28 years old. She was born May 11th of 1992 to Regina Griffith Robinson and Sidney Robinson Sr. in Grand Junction, Colorado. Lystra attended all Holdenville public schools, and she graduated in 2010. She received an associate's degree and master's certificate in child care from Seminole State College. At one time, Lystra worked at Walmart and enjoyed the people she come in contact with, but her passion was children. It seems there wasn't a child not attracted to her. She had a lot of favorites, and she was always thinking, trying to think of ways to help improve herself so she may be able to be a better teacher and one day own her own center. She was currently employed at the Seminole Nation Barking Water Child Care Center. Private services will be held today at 1 p.m. at Hudson Phillips Funeral Home Chapel with Overseer John Berry officiating, and burial will be in the Holdenville Cemetery. Thomas Lee Harjo, age 36, departed this life on Saturday, January 16th, 2021 in Oklahoma City. He was born February 13th, 1984 in Ada, Oklahoma, to the late Michael James Harjo and Deanna Mae Johnson. He attended Justice Schools and later worked for Expanded Solutions as a metal worker. Thomas enjoyed playing games and spending time with family and friends. And preceding Thomas in death are his parents. Funeral services was Friday, January 22nd at Rock Spring Church in Tsno, Oklahoma, with Pastor Eric Flacco and Pastor Kevin Fox officiating. And burial will be at Rock Spring Church Cemetery. Cinda Louise McGirt passed away Thursday, January 14, 2021 in Glen Rose, Texas. Cindy was born June 9, 1955 in Oklahoma City to Ambrose Cully and Minnie Lee Tiger Cully. Cindy graduated from Bowlegs High School and later married Roland McGirt on October 17, 1980 in Tsno. Cindy worked as a medical aide and was a member of the Sand Creek Eufaula Baptist Church in Wewoka. Funeral services was Monday, January 25th at Sand Creek Eufaula Baptist Church with Pastor Houston Tiger officiating, and with burial services at McGirt Family Cemetery in Sassacla. Dennis Gene Fish went to his eternal home in glory Friday, January 15, 2021, at the age of 65. He was born April 14, 1955, to Josephine Factor Fish Holsey and the late Solomon Sonny Fish in Wewoka, Oklahoma. Dennis graduated from Kanawha High School in 1974. He worked for the Oklahoma Department of Corrections and retired from there being CLEAT certified, a firearms instructor, and expert marksman. After his retirement, Dennis went on to work several years for JPATS and the U.S. Marshals Air Service. Dennis was devoted to his Lord and the church, holding numerous positions at Augusumpka Baptist Church, the MSW Association, and the 5th District Rally. He was also active in the community and the Seminole Nation Seniors. Dennis was an active member to the Ocheesee Band of the Seminole Nation. Funeral services was Thursday, January 21st at Augusumpka Baptist Church in Wewoka with Reverend Dan Factor officiating, with a burial at Tate Mountain Cemetery. Our condolences to all the families and friends, to the people that we have lost at this time, and we honor with a moment of silence. And so the Wewoka Indian Health Clinic is opening COVID-19 vaccinations to include a wider population of their patients. Vaccines are given Monday through Friday. Wewoka Indian Health Clinic COVID-19 vaccinations are available to patients with an active chart who meet the following criteria. Number 1, ages 18 years and older with a chronic health condition. Number 2, ages 50 years and older with or without chronic health condition. And then 3, school teachers, personnel, and first responders age 18 years and older. And all patients are required to wear a mask or face covering while interacting with clinic personnel to help decrease the spread of COVID-19. For more information or to schedule an appointment, contact one of the following numbers: 405-257-7319, 405-257-7330, or 405-257-7366. And yours truly, I have received the first round of the Moderna vaccination and received it from the Wewoka IHS or Indian Clinic, and I'd like to show my appreciation and express my appreciation to the Wewoka Clinic, and also for anyone that's visiting. They do have a protocol in place when you show up to the clinic. You pull up underneath the awning or right next to the door, and you'll be greeted by some staff that will come out and give you some paperwork. And at that point, you go into the parking lot and you set in your car, and when it's your time, they'll come and retrieve you out of your car. And I'd like to thank Mr. Ron McIntosh. He really helped me out and was a great host when I came by there. So, Mado, Ron. And then a phone line has been set up to receive questions from our tribal members in regards to the second round release of COVID assistance and technology assistance. Due to the number of calls, please be patient as the staff works to answer the individual inquiries. But that line is available Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And the phone number is 405-257-7231. Let me repeat that, 405-257-7231. And a 2021 Spring Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Higher Education BIA Scholarship is now available. Applications for the Spring of 2021 Seminole Nation BIA Scholarship is now online at the Seminole Nation website. Higher Education tab with hard copies available at the downtown Seminole Higher Education office, and that's 215 East Evans Street, Seminole, Oklahoma. Director Clara Keatfolot reminds that the deadline for submitting completed applications is February 14th, 2021. And for more information, contact the office at 405-716-6040 or 405-716-6041. And Clara also reached out to us this morning and said there are still bags of clothes and shoes available at her location. Free to those who come and can take them. Everything must go, and the office is closed from 12 to 1. But these bags, I believe that Claire's getting ready to move offices, and so these shoes and clothes, if you need them, please come get them. If you know someone that needs them, please come get them as well. And again, Claire's phone number's 405-716-6040, 405-716-6041. And again, that is 215 East Evans, right across from the City Hall, I believe that's what it is, in Seminole, or the library. So, and then save the date. The Seminole Nation Court Continuing Legal Education will be hosting a Tribal Courts Annual Law Conference as a virtual seminar this year. And that will take place January 29th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, contact Tribal Court at 405-303-2251. Again, that's 405-303-2251. And now we have a plug for our Seminole Nation CHR program, open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The main line to schedule an appointment is 405-234-5273. Services that CHR are performing right now is the food pantry deliveries, which are groceries for households every month. Transportation to medical appointments, and those appointments must be in Seminole, Wewoka, Holdenville, Ada, Shawnee, Norman, and Oklahoma City. Telehealth calls for current CHR patients to check up on current health status. Scheduling and or setup of outside services like Seminole Nation of Oklahoma programs, Social Security, Veteran Affairs, Sooner Ride, Mays Home Health, or Medicare or Medicaid programs, and etc. So CHR does not provide transportation to COVID-19 testing sites. And again, that phone number, 405-234-5273. And also check their diabetes page, because they are doing a great job putting out videos. Half the exercises are hard for me to do, but Delaney Pinnock, he knocks them out with no issues. And so we're trying to win this challenge that language department, the communications department, and historic preservation are all in on. So I'm be real skinny next time y'all see me. So that's not a joke. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but I'll be in better shape and hopefully healthier. And so we'd like to give happy birthday shout outs to Rena Bumo, Vicky Petit, Misty Littlewin, Jalen Gover, Abe Chabon Davis, Randy Burleson, Amber Esselstrom, Juanita Harjo, Pushjada Brown, Johnny Factor, Jason Wise, Raymond Harjo, Clifford Harjo, and a special birthday shout out from one Selma Hayek to Henson, fadeaway jumper, Lena. So happy birthday. I'm sure Mark will be cueing the music, so I'll give you a little bit of time. All right. And so this is also an election year for the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, and people have started to acknowledge that they're running for office this year. And so for Chief, what we know so far is for Chief, current Chief Greg Chilcote and current Assistant Chief Lewis Johnson are running for the Chief position, and then also for Assistant Chief, Mr. Thomas Yahola is also running. And it's still very early, and I'm sure more will throw their hat in the ring. But it's never too early to start saying, make sure you get out to vote. We want to make sure that, Seminole Nation's a small tribe. I say small, but make sure that if you have opinions, you voice those opinions, and that's through your band meetings, get a hold of your band reps, your band chiefs, and then also voting is another part of that. And so we want to say, make sure you get out and vote. And also, we would like to say congratulations to Mahinwa Deer from Seminole High School. She has been selected to be his senior homecoming attendant this Friday, and from what we heard, she's the only native that's going to be an attendant this year. So congratulations, Mahinwa, and good luck. And it's hard to believe that Mahinwa is a senior. I remember just a few years ago, she was in our language classes and was an intern, and it's, you're getting old when these young ones start growing up, and so they start graduating and going to school. So congratulations, Mahinwa. We're rooting for you. And then looks like about the only thing that we have left is some of the national news that's been going on. That does directly affect the Seminole Nation. And so the first one is Governor Kevin Stitt on Friday urged the state's tribal governments to enter into negotiation with the state over issues arising from last summer's U.S. Supreme Court decision in McGirt versus Oklahoma. It is critically important that the state of Oklahoma and the leaders of Oklahoma tribes impacted by the McGirt decision be in negotiations, written earnest to resolve the potential ramifications of this ruling, Stitt said in a written statement. The tribes contacted by the Tulsa World on Friday responded cautiously to Stitt's overtures. The Muskogee Creek Nation said in a written statement that it has had preliminary discussions with the Oklahoma governor's office, but that talks of negotiation will be premature without the in-depth conversations that are necessary to move forward. The tribe said it believes that the most beneficial path for both non-native and native Oklahomans is through strengthening sovereignty and tribal capacities. A week ago, some tribal leaders indicated that they want Congress to grant them and the state authority to negotiate compacts on the issues involved before proceeding. We believe the path is clear on criminal jurisdiction issues, Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. said Friday. Federal legislation should authorize compacting between the Cherokee Nation and the state. We believe there is a clear path forward on criminal jurisdiction, respecting tribal, state, and federal sovereignty, said Chickasaw Governor Bill Anatubby, regarded as a senior statesman among the tribal leaders. We will continue to work towards durable frameworks that respect the law and bring us together to meet our shared goal to protect and serve all Oklahomans. In McGirt, a divided court ruled that the pre-statehood boundaries of the Muskogee Creek Nation were never dissolved and remained in effect for purposes of major crimes committed by tribal members within that territory, which includes most of Tulsa. Many believe the decision could have more far-ranging repercussions extending to the rest of the 5 tribes, whose governments controlled most of what is now eastern Oklahoma prior to statehood in 1907. Those implications could also apply to civil matters and tax jurisdictions. Earlier this month, the Seminole Nation notified some oil and gas companies that it intended to collect severances in its east central Oklahoma territory, then said it meant only on land held in trust. Already, federal criminal filings in the northern and eastern districts of Oklahoma have skyrocketed as changes in cases involving tribal members have shifted from state court. In his statements, did acknowledge concerns about public safety and McGirt's possible effect on the state's ability to collect taxes and control the regulatory structure of much of Oklahoma. And that article came from the Tulsa World. And one bit of information that I would personally like to share, and this is just Jeremy's personal opinion, is that there's been a lot of misinformation regarding some of the stats and regarding some of the issues that come out regarding the new decision that was made in the Supreme Court. And in the article, it says that the court cases have skyrocketed. Without actual numbers, we don't know. And so, again, it's just, you have to critically think about some of this stuff that's coming out, because some of it is a diversion, some of it's true, and some may be inaccurate. And I'm not saying that Tulsa World's article is inaccurate. I'm just saying anything that you read, be critical about it. Even things from our own communications department. You know, we everything that comes out, we have the ability to read and interpret ourselves. And so, and then the Native American, or a Native American, may be taking control of the cabinet department that has been shaped, or that has shaped Native American lives. The Native Americans have long reason to distrust the Interior Department. However, Biden said he will have more women than any other president ever in his cabinet. And for his and he wanted other countries to do better. Sorry, I only have 8 minutes left, and I've got a lot of stuff here. And so the main thing, I guess, to get from this is that many tribal leaders are concerned about how climate change could hurt their vulnerability, land, and communities, and especially at Standing Rock. I think with President Biden's revoking of the permit, and other protest movements, activists, and tribal leaders cited environmental racism as Native American land and resources remain a target for exploitation by extractive industries. Many Native Americans and tribal leaders note that land exploration will produce little benefit for their communities, disrupt and diminish tribal lands, and destroy sacred sites. And then third, the Navajo woman has been chosen to head the U.S. Indian Energy. As the original caretakers of this land, tribes can lead the way. A Dene woman who knows what it's like to live without electricity and has fought for solar energy for her people, have been selected to head the U.S. Office of Indian Energy Programs and Policy. She'll be taking over a program that the Trump administration nearly brought to its knees by cutting its budget by 2/3. Wally Johns is co-founder and director of Native Renewables, a company that brings solar energy to Native American homes and trains Native solar installers. She's also been a community organizer and advocate for water rights, protection, economic, and environmental justice. She's chairwoman of the Navajo Green Economy Commission. Johns grew up on and near the Navajo reservation, where about 15% of homes lacked piped water and 10% lacked electricity. Water and energy became core issues for her. And in May, New York Times opted Johns wrote, how is it that the Navajo Nation borders 80 miles of the Colorado River and doesn't have access to one drop of water? How can it be that the coal and water from Navajo lands help create electricity for LA, Las Vegas, and Phoenix, and yet 15,000 families on the reservation don't have power? Johns will be taking over an office that sustained a 64% budget cut. The Office of Indian Energy 2020's budget was $22 million. The Trump administration requested only $8 million for its 2021 budget. And the Indian Energy website reports infrastructure developments in Indian country is limited due to limited funding and financing, inadequate infrastructure, limited technical capabilities, and complicit legal and regulatory structure governing Indian land. The office has a staff of 7 people, with 3 in Washington, D.C., and promote Indian tribal energy development, efficiency, and use, reduce and stabilize Indian tribal energy costs, strengthening Indian tribal energy infrastructure, and electrify Indian land, housing, and businesses. And so I finally got through it with about 3 minutes to spare. I think that deserves a round of applause. It's still quiet, Dennis. I'm not used to not having someone laugh or clap or make fun of me like everyone usually does. So, and so to kind of end the news today, the language department, I'm going to take advantage of this time that I have. Me and Delaney over at the language department are in the process of testing out some Zoom calls to start our beginner classes. And so I'm going to go ahead and throw this out to the radio people. If you're out there and you want to learn the Muskogee, the Seminole language, and you are a beginner, again, this is for beginners, go ahead and start calling at 405-382-9826. Leave us a message with your name and your phone number. And if you are a tribal member, because tribal members do get first preference, again, that's 405-382-9826. We are going to start scheduling those classes. Notices will start coming online and on Facebook, and will be on our website page probably within the next couple of weeks. But we also need to, again, like I said, test it out a little bit. And so if you're a beginner, we are still currently working on some intermediate and then also some more advanced classes, and also looking at some other options. And so we're excited about what's coming forward. You know, the pandemic made us change a few things and change the ways that we have to address some of the teaching methods and styles that we've had, and some of the just some of the things that we do over at the language department. And so I think for the good. And so keep an eye out. And like I said, if you're interested in those classes, especially these beginner classes, which is going to be a good foundation for moving forward if you're truly wanting to learn the Muskogee language. Again, that's 405-382-9826. And so with that, I'm your host, Jeremy FULTZ, Mr. Bo Whitekiller, the writer, and then Mark Williams, the director and editor for the Seminole Nation radio program. Come watch us again on Wednesday on the Facebook playback, and then, like I said earlier, every Tuesday at 11, right here on 97.7 FM and the legendary 1260 AM KWSH. A mask is better than a ventilator. Home is better than ICU. Prevention is better than cure. It's curfew, not care for you. Be good to one another. Jiki Jockey. Dennis.